Hi, welcome to Program Design Technologies. My name is Michael Hodges. I am the business analyst, and I welcome you guys to the network. I say hi to everybody. I have a topic today that I think I hope it is a benefit of you. I am sure it will help you if you've been frustrated with the paid ad search and you're upset because you run Google ads, Facebook ads, or LinkedIn ads, and it's not producing you any money. Why? How can I do effective ad campaigns, and why do the ad campaigns not do me any result? Why don't I get any result of it? Well, a lot of people get upset. They get upset at the, social media and Google, and say, it's because Google is a monopoly and because social media just must make money. And you think it's a ripoff. Then you go to a marketing company and just notice that it does get you some type of result, but then what you paid the marketing company, what you paid the ad, you see that your profit margins come down quite a bit. So you're saying, so what do I do? Am I working for the marketing company and I'm working for these social media platforms? I mean, is it effective? Well, even with a marketing company, a lot of the times, if the marketing company is doing their job right, you should well cover the cost of the marketing company. You should be able to cover the cost of the ads. However, there are certain products that or services that just doesn't leave that much room. And so though it works with the marketing company, you really feel the amount of money that you're spending between the ads and the marketing company. So what do? Well, it's real important. Is the social media or Google's fault? Or is it a monopoly? Is, like people say, and they're demanding and they're suing Google because of monopoly. Well, I'm not a defender of any one of these platforms, but you do have to understand, if all the tools that they put in your hand to be able to do publicity and the audience they put, a selected audience to your hand, you had to create a software and do this, it would be real expensive. So you got to remember, these marketing companies, social media, and also this Google puts a ton of tools for free, and then gives you the audience by section. I don't know if you remember, if you're as old as I am, but a lot of new guys are not going to remember this, but when you used to throw flyers, you would get 1,000 flyers. You could only cover 10, 15 blocks. It'd be a lot of work. And yes, flyers used to be and still are. They're still all effective. However, I mean, if they could tell you, leave it in that house, there's a woman living there, or leave it in this house because they're all under 25 years old, or live in this house because they're all on, Medicare. You had to deliver the flyer whether it was going to be your ideal customer or not. You still had to do the work. You still had to give that flyer, even though that customer probably did not need your product, or he wasn't the ideal customer or prospect. So the flyer thing went out. And now we look at, this possibility with the platforms that now you could, you can know what age they are, how many they are, what they work in, what do they like, what they don't like. Nobody could tell you that before. Even the newspaper, when you put an ad in the newspaper before, it went out in general and it only covered a certain area. Right now you can cover as many countries as you want in an ad. We didn't have that before. So What are the benefits? You can cover a whole nation or a state or a city or a county. You can direct your ad to that. What else? The ad could be directed to your ideal client. If you work with realtors, you can directly to realtors. If you work with restaurants, directly to restaurants. If you clean carpets, to homeowners, or whatever you want to direct it to. So you could direct the ad. What other benefits? You don't pay unless the person's interested. If the person hits your ad because he's interested, then you pay. With a flyer, you left the flyer regardless if he was interested or not. You lost the flyer and you walked the mile. With the newspaper, it was, so you're only going to pay if somebody's interested. What else? The ad runs by itself till the money runs out. So you don't have to even monitor it. You place it, you configure it, you set it. It looks for the people with your characteristics. It covers the area that you want to cover, and it runs by itself. You don't have to sit there and baby it. What else? They give you free tools to know the habits of the people who are actually looking at your ad. You can see the habits of the people who are looking at your ad. So the best thing that's going to happen is these companies that are doing it. Okay, so if it's so great, why doesn't it work for me? Okay, I'll tell you why your ad's not working for you. Your ad's not working for you. First, you got to create the ad enticing. If you sell strawberries, you're going to put the best looking strawberry. If you sell plumbing, you're going to put a person that looks professional doing plumbing, right? Second, you must see what area you want. I really emphasize this with all my customers. Don't try to cover the whole nation. Cover the areas that you work. Because the wider the area, somebody might click it because he's interested. But if you live in Los Angeles and he's in Orange County, he might have clicked it, but he's going to say, this guy's too far. He's not going to come back. You paid for the click, and he's not going to call you. So make sure you cover the areas that you work. You cover the areas that the people see that you're going to be able to attend to them within a reasonable time. Another thing, we got the one. Your ad has to be enticing, has to be good looking. You must be sure you place it, you configure it in the area where not only you know you work, but also a customer that might be interested will believe that you'll be able to attend to him if you're too far away. You must also make sure the product is in demand at the time that you're going to place the ad. For example, a customer that does air conditioning and he does air conditioning and does heaters, right? Furnaces. I'm not going to place an ad for refilling air conditioners with Freon in the winter. Right? Because people are not looking for that. But I might put a furnace repair ad in the winter. That is so important. Make sure you realize that there's a demand for the ad that you're putting. Right? You got to make sure that product is in demand. And then in the section that you're going to put it. For example, I'm a construction. Let's say I install windows, right? I do new homes and I do, just replacements. However, the business is in the new homes, but there's no construction where I am at. What am I going to do? Am I going to place the ad in a city that there's no construction? No, I'm going to place the ad in the next closest city where there's a lot of construction. And a lot of people do this. A lot of people put the ad, oh, I'm here and I want to work here and this is what I want to put the ad. Let me put you an example. This is no different than when, for example, in California, there is, in Los Angeles, you have, I guess in any city, you have an area of electronics where you can go get your car, your stereo fixed, you can get window tinting, you can get, there's an area for that every window tinter's there, every car repair guy's there. Okay? Wouldn't it be easier to put it somewhere where there wasn't none of that? No, you don't place the ad just because you do that service there or just because it's in your area or it's close for you. You got to put it where you know there's going to be work. So these are things that the business analyst has to find out for you, because sometimes you might want an ad in Chicago and they might tell you, you know, you don't want to go a little bit further than Chicago, maybe to the next city over, because Chicago has too much competition. Just like if you want to open a store, you know, if you want to open a small store of groceries next to a convenience store, I mean, you know you're not going to be able to compete. Just like when you're going to open a store, a physical store, in the internet or online, you have to figure out if it's a good location and if it's really worth it there. Sometimes in the high competitive areas, there's still work. However, you do have to you do have to analyze and make sure that you're competitive. And not only that, if you're going to put your ad where there's a lot of competition and say you're very competitive, you have a good price, but your visibility in your website don't talk about it or they don't present that, you know you have a good price, they're not going to go with you. They're going to go with the guy that's a little higher because he's got better credibility than you do. So when you compete with an ad in an area where there's a lot of competition, there's going to be a lot more things that are going to affect you. Your website's got to be beautiful. Your wording, your Facebook, your Instagram have to be to the ball. You're competing a whole presence. So it's not that's impossible. A good marketer can do it. I mean, I can make it look just like like Walmart. If you sell clothes, we can make it look exactly alike. But it's going to be a lot more effort, a lot more money. And what you want to do is you want to hit the areas that are going to generate you money, but it's not going to break your bank, or it's not going to cost you so much that your profit margins are going to be real low. So your ad has to be enticing. You must be in what the service areas that you're really going to be able to. Doesn't matter if you want to cover nationwide, you could do that, but don't start it without conquering city by city. For example, if you want to be nationwide, if there was no internet and you wanted to be nationwide in the store, you want to open stores everywhere, you're not going to open all of them at one time. Right? You're going to open one store, then you're going to analyze the market where your clientele's coming from. If they're coming from a place that is a little bit far away, but you have a lot of customers in that city, so you're going to open another store in that city. You're not just going to open 10, 15 stores at one time. You're going to be seeing where your customers are coming from, where the demand is coming from, and you're going to open another store where there's another demand. The internet is the same way. You're going to open one, cover certain areas, and then do another market study on the next city that you want to do. If it looks feasible, open up there, and then you do the next area, then you do the next area, then you do the next area. In this way, you will not break your bank. It's like opening stores. You've got to study the market and see where you're going to place your ad. And this way, you'll be growing as your sales are growing. You must know what your competition's doing. And this is real important. Because remember, when you place a Google ad, you're not going to place a Google ad for all your products. You're going to place a Google ad for what's in demand, for what you can compete with price-wise. I mean, you need to know that you can compete with it. And if you get that customer, again, if you're servicing air conditioners, or the real good one that they do, which comes to be the person that does air duct cleaning, they might go in for an air duct cleaning. You know, that might be the service you put inexpensive and on promotion, but they're going to know you do all these other services. If you do a good air duct cleaning job, they might give you something else. So you need to know what your competition's selling. You need to know that your price is competitive, and then you go for it, right? These things are really important. I haven't seen one ad that doesn't work this way. So why is your ad not working? Are you following? This is minimum. Are you following these steps? Or are you just placing an ad? Oh, I'm going to put an ad for this. That doesn't work. Remember, when you're conquering the internet, it's like opening a new store. And when you open a new store in a new location, you have to analyze the demand, the pricing, the competition. It's no different. Because nothing that would be good that you just go open a store somewhere without knowing what your competition's doing. Right? Okay. Our marketing companies do this. Obviously, it costs you a lot more because you're paying for the work, for the analyzing, for the experience. Unfortunately, it's, sometimes they go real overpriced for it. So we're allowing you to have, for $7 an hour, a person that can do all this for you. Your website, your paid campaigns, your social media, a virtual marketing assistant for $7 an hour. How would you be charged? You would be charged according to, the work he has to do. Obviously, the most elaborate, if you want a simple page, it might take 3-4 hours, or if you want, something real extensive, it might take a week, But at least for $7 an hour, you have somebody who knows how to do all this. If not, there's the clue. I'm giving you the clue. Copy these major points. Do this every time you put an ad. Every time, not just one time. You got to do it every time you place an ad. You have to do a market analysis. You have to make sure the area you're going to. You have to make sure what type of customers you want it to go to. You got to make every time you place an ad, each service, each product is different. Each time of the year, anytime you're going to place an ad, even though you've done it before, you need to do it again because the tendencies change. And not only that, your competition is obviously going to see what you're doing. He's going to try to do something to beat you. So you have to be on top of that. You have to make sure that your next ad, if it worked out, try to run it the same. At the same time, you need to make sure that, conditions change all the time. That's why you pay a marketing company, to make sure and monitor that. Unfortunately, a lot of marketing companies just take your money. That's true. I mean, I can't lie at that, So for $7 an hour, we'll take the chart. Or there's the key. Every time you do a paid ad search, you do these steps, I can assure you. Now, let's take a look. For example, on Realty, you put a real estate ad in Facebook. You put a real estate ad in Facebook, you put an enticing ad where they click and they fill out a form, right? You're going to get, I would say maybe about $800 is going to get you about 44 clicks. And it's going to get you about maybe 9 real potential customers, maybe less, maybe 5, right? So was it worth it? If you paid $800 and you got from 5 to 9 potential customers on real estate, you sold one house, you tripled the money. If you sell hamburgers, if you're a restaurant, or if you're a carpet cleaner, if you put $800 on an ad, okay, and then you run it for this month, you run an ad for $800 for a campaign, and you charge, I think the average is like, I've seen like 25 or 35 a room. Okay, 35 a room. So if you're doing $35 a room, let's say $25 a room, and you spend $800 divided by 20, that would be 32 rooms you would have to do just to pay for the ad, right? So then if you're going to do 32 rooms and your average house is a 3-bedroom, well, at least you do 3 rooms. 32 divided by 3, that's 10 homes. See how things change a little bit? You'd have to do 10 homes just to pay for the ad. Now, if it ends up being that the homes, if you do 10 homes, but your price, you might get another, you get 3 rooms, but you might get to wash a sofa, or you might get to do, and this is how it works, because sometimes the money you're going to make might be real marginal, but that customer is going to come back, you'll recommend somebody else, depending on how much good work you do, you'll get something else to do other than just a carpet. So see, in a real estate company, to have, or real estate agent to get 5 good prospects and sells 2 homes, $800 is nothing. So a carpet guy, he might not be making a lot, but he might be getting a lot of recommendations from those people that he does, or he might be getting other work than what his special is. Because remember, whatever you put on the ad is going to bring the customer in. And then you could upsell him for something else. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Remember these steps. Remember to look at this, and don't blame the social media. It's either your paid ad search guy that's doing a bad job, but it's not social media. It's not Google. What's happening is they don't know what they're doing. I'll tell you right off the bat if it's not worth it to put an ad in the service areas that you're working on, because it just doesn't do the numbers. And I'll tell you, you know what? Don't put it here, but put it here. Because here there's, these are the conditions and they're favorable. But a lot of paid search guys, they'll tell them, I want it in the middle of Chicago. Without taking into account all the characteristics to allow you to choose. And when there's no results, it's because that's what you wanted. No, it's because it's the marketer's responsibility to tell you if what you want is going to work or not, whether you like it or not, and how much it's really going to cost you. All right. Have an awesome day. I hope this helps you. Have any questions, send me a message. 845-470-0217. Extension 3 is mine direct, or you can go to customer service extension 1. Have an awesome day. Good talking to you. See you guys. Bye.